Still in the coastal region, a send suggested we visit a different type of Russian stronghold, a tourist destination called Sunny Beach, said by many to be the Cancun of Russia and Eastern Europe. People came for the prostitutes, drugs, and cheap counterfeit Russian liquor.
No, I mean, rich people will not come here. It's considered for people from the countryside coming to Sunny Beach like a big thing.
It's rumored that the Sunny Beach policeman's main job is to make sure tourists don't die from the overconsumption of discount drugs, alcohol, or the sex.
Canada going fucking crazy, man! Woo!
I know.
Yeah.
You can never do this in Norway.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's so expensive over there, huh? I remember a bottle of vodka. It was a fortune. Welcome.
I see you should do. Yes, you should do it.
All right. Huh? That's it's what, bad alcohol?
Let's go.
It's horrible.
Everywhere you look, you see endless rows of old Russian-style tenement buildings. They litter the landscape. This place must have been gorgeous before they built all these places. But all aesthetics aside, there are people living in these buildings, so tearing them down would never be an option.
Той не е никак хубав той дизайн. Той е за типови сгради. Трябва да се строи ефтино и бързо.
We stopped by the Buzlaja monument that Georgy Stoilov had designed. It was like a giant Russian flying saucer out of an 80s style future, now abandoned and sealed off. Of Stara Zagora was a Roma village called Lazinets.
Обръщам се за всеки, който ме чува. Просто да ни помогне.
Where Boyko's government was actively bulldozing the homes of the poor and starving Roma people, who ironically voted for him for as little as a sandwich.
Кмета нищо не прави. Къде да ида? Къде? Оставам по пътищата.
Across Eastern Europe, there were over 10 million Roma people, who, during communism, were forced to plant roots. Ironically, communism was the best thing to ever happen to most of these nomads, because it gave them food, shelter, and jobs. When communism fell in 1989, most of these once nomadic people found themselves stuck in a no-win situation. Hot cars, clothes, rivers of booze, and lots of young faces with seemingly bright futures. The contrast between these young adults and the ones we had left back at the Roma village couldn't have been any greater. Bulgaria is one of the few countries in the entire world with a shrinking population.
Are you going to stay here after you graduate?
No.
So why are you leaving?
There is no future in Bulgaria. Like, everything, like, this country is filled with hate and, like, no tolerance at all. So I'm definitely, like, when I was graduating, they asked me, like, what do you want to do? So, like, I never, like, staying in Bulgaria to study was never an option.
Yeah.
I just had to leave. I know that I have to leave.
We're experiencing as a country the biggest brain drain in our living history. So about 20-something% of young people graduating, they go to study abroad, to immigrate. And they don't wish to come back. And those who go to study abroad, this is usually the highly motivated, I wouldn't say the best and the brightest, but a very high percentage of their high achievers. A very few percentage of those is planning to come back.
Do you smoke weed? Weed. Травка. Don't smoke weed? Oh, yes! Smoke! Дай памък на човека! One more!
Hit the road in hopes of meeting the one man who truly understood the cost of Russian-style manipulation.
Цветан Василев was sitting right here. What would you say to him?
Why so intelligent or clever businessman had not the feeling what would happen? He believed too much in himself.
We were instructed not to bring any cameras or cell phones to our initial meeting. We were then led into a very nice Serbian grill restaurant where we were joined by Cvetan and his wife. For the next few hours we got to know each other, and once Cvetan became comfortable, his security gave us instructions to a location where we could conduct our interview.
Rolling? Paul?
My name is famous. And Cvetan Vasilev.